Hello and welcome to this review/news video for the International Racing League. Today we'll be reviewing the GT Sport race around the Nürburgring 24-hour track and the Formula 1 race around the Chinese Grand Prix at Shanghai, round 12 of 16 on the F1 calendar. So we'll get straight into it, starting off with the GT Sport League. Quick on board with Kamikaze Fox on his outlap. You can just see the Nordschleife section of the track, so difficult to get right, some real flat out corners. The wall's so tight, no runoff area. Curbs like skyscrapers. Here's the start. Philip Blum took pole position, Killer KD and Convicts Popeye second and third, with the two Chrysos racing cars of Cameron Weston-Edwards and Sondre Sorhaug fourth and fifth. Crucially, championship leader Luke Smith was unable to make the race. This meant that his 32-point lead in the championship was certainly going to be cut. Favourite to win was Jeremy Pope, fly high 8.79. However, as you're going to see in a minute, a bit of contact on the opening lap almost completely destroyed any chance he had of taking the win. It was ended up being Philip Blum who took a fantastic victory, and despite Jeremy Pope being spun early on by an overeager Sondre Sorhaug, he was able to recover to finish in second place, with Doc Holliday in third. Sorry for the bad quality. Killer KD fourth, Convicts Popeye fifth, ahead of Johnny Carrington, Kamikaze Fox, Cameron Weston-Edwards, Ben Carrington and Sondre Sorhaug rounding out the points in tenth position. A few non-finishes in a very difficult race. Just 6 laps completed in the end in a 40-minute race. And there's the Nations Cup, America making their lead even bigger now, 133 odd points from Britain in third, then Norway, and the only other team to score. The rebranded Nestle Racing, having previously been Galaxy Motorsports, now take a 25-point lead over Chrysos Racing, Confox, Hot Wheels, Scuderia Ferrari, Duke, DRS, Red Bull and Gusto complete the list. Gusto a new entrance. Going on to the Drivers' Championship, so Luke Smith still retaining now just an 8-point lead over Philip Blum in second, Chris Ryan in third, Doc Holliday fourth, Lewis Bish, Jeremy Pope, then a bit of a gap to Kamikaze Fox, Killer KD, Cameron Weston-Edwards, Fly Super 2, Johnny Carrington 11th, then ex Rambo Tyler R2003, Ben Carrington, no that says Jamie, it's Ben Carrington, then Sondre Sorhaug with Callum Latham, Shark Boxhorn, Matthew Elder and Jorge Correa yet to get off the mark, Louis Quinlan who entered after the race. And now moving on to the F1 race, Matthew Alder equalled the record set back in Season 1 for most consecutive pole positions. He now has 5 with an incredible lap, 7/10 faster than anyone else, but an absolutely dismal start let Saba Siktu take the lead, but he was a bit over-eager going into Turn 1 and lost control. Span crucially hit by his teammate, championship point leader Felix Negua, costing him front wing, and it was Luke Smith with an incredible start to go from 5th to 1st at the first corner, who led away. Luke Smith and Matthew Alder battled for most of the race. Here they are battling for a net P1, but this was a crucial moment because Matthew Alder misjudged the braking going into Turn 1. A low sunset caused havoc. That cost him any chance of victory, and then this crucial mistake after he pitted ensured he was actually stuck behind Cameron Weston-Edwards, a championship rival who had no intention of letting him through. And you can just see the Sauber in the background, Felix Negua, also closing in. So 3 of the 4 championship contenders all fighting for 6th place, so it's going to be a hell of a battle. Brandon Glover, the other championship contender, unfortunately span on lap 1 and crashed, broke the suspension despite going at a very low speed, which he was unhappy about. But you can just see the aggression of which these 2 and eventually 3 battle with. I'll just let you enjoy this for a moment. You can see there, Matthew Alder got ahead many times. Because the DRS is so strong in the slipstream as well, it let Cameron Weston-Edwards and Felix Negua just to fight back every single time Alder got back past. And this was crucial because Alder, with the pace he has, would have probably been able to get onto the podium. So these 2 knew they had to keep ahead of him. And you can just see there, Weston-Edwards just pushing him a little bit wide. No contact, but just spooking him a bit wide, able to get the position back. Felix Negua just lurking in the background in case there was a mistake by either of these 2, but a fantastic battle which lasted around about 8 laps. Alder and Weston-Edwards and Negua as well have been involved in fantastic battles in the past, particularly Alder last time out with Sebastian Gonçalves at Malaysia. But you can see here, going side by side, 180 miles an hour into a flat-out left-hander. Really, really brave racing from these 2. Alder trying to squeeze him out. Fantastic racing. No, obviously a lot of contact, but nothing warranting of a penalty. Eventually, Negua was able to work his way round these two and take a crucial extra 2 points on Matthew Alder. But before we take a look at that, we'll just see the end of this, another part of this battle onto the next lap. You can see Alder once again got back past, but the DRS, and he wasn't able to defend the inside quick enough. The DRS allowed Weston Edwards to get back past, and Felix Neg was still just lurking in the background, waiting for any sort of opportunity. But Alder with a fantastic exit there, and he'll have DRS as well. So at this point, he probably thinks he's got the job done. Pushes Weston Edwards out just to make sure, but Negwa with it gets a fantastic exit off the corner, outdrags Weston Edwards going down into turn 1 and side by side with Alder. So Weston Edwards on completely shot tyres. Knew this was now or never. Cuts to the inside, gets 2 in 1. A fantastic move by the Renault driver, but didn't even get overtake of the day in the end. That went to Jorge Correa. But Luke Smith took a dominant victory in a well overdue maiden win in IRL from Saba Siktu in second, and Jorge Correa taking his first podium for 1 year and 3 months. Last time he was on the podium was season 2 in Malaysia, over a year ago on the F1 2016 games. So a fantastic result for Jorge. But you can see what this does to the championship. We'll start off with the Nations Cup. England still well clear, and I'd be amazed if they weren't able to win it. From Germany in second, Scotland now third, leading a nice little battle for fourth between them, Scandinavia, Macedonia, and Australia, followed by the Netherlands, Hungary, Portugal, Ireland, America, Belgium, and Wales. Going on to the constructors, Sauber's lead cut by 13 points. They are now just 36.5 points ahead of Renault, with Mercedes and Haas beginning to fall away. Then Toro Rosso and Ferrari, who have crept up, and also Williams moving past Force India as they go into 8th, with TJ McLean ending up in a controversial 4th. As now we'll go on to the Drivers' Championship. Felix Negwa now 19.5 points ahead of Cameron Weston Edwards. Brandon Glover, this is another just 2 disappointing races, no points in the last 2 races. He's now 3rd, well still 3rd. Matthew Alder in 4th. Stefan Prozanov remains 5th ahead of Lewis Marshall. Luke Smith up to 7th, was tied on points with Francis McGinn. Then Sondre Sorhaug, Louis Quinlan, Sebastian Goncalves down in a disappointing 11th. And then Saba 60. Here's the relegation battle. Lewis Bish in 16th, James Hallworth, who's out until mid-June. He'll be hoping 21 points are enough. Then Kieran Evans, Gabriel Ryan. Reece Bibby is just half a point clear of relegation. Michael Amadoro, Ethan Croft is deep in relegation. Leyland Supertini, Tyler Bickerstaff, and Cobalt in relegation. Join us in a couple of weeks in the GT League for the British Grand Prix at the Brands Hatch GP circuit, very difficult circuit, and the F1 League with just 4 races to go. We visit Suzuka, Japan, a notoriously difficult track to overtake, so catch us there.